Please know and apply your knowledge on Ohm's law when venturing into rebuilding or producing your own coils.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Codename Wired. Obviously, we are missing a panel member. He had some personal things that he needed to take care of, but may possibly join us later if he's able to get all of that taken care of. So for now, you just have us two dickheads, me, and obviously my fantastic co-host and hate brother, Cloud Cartel UK.
How's it going, mate? You doing well?
How was your week, man?
Mate, non-stop. That's why I am going to rename Sleepy Coils. I've been working like fucking 70-hour weeks. So I've got no days off this month.
Yeah.
So that and building for Expo, building for oil orders and all that shit. It's just got me busy. But it's all good busy. So either that or I'll be sitting on my arse eating food. So
yeah, I mean, a good struggle is better than a bad struggle, 100% every single time.
100%. How's everything with you, mate? You been doing good?
Yeah, everything's been good. I just so I don't know if it's a set in stone just yet. I'll find out soon, hopefully. But I just finished up the last bit of the 250 pairs I needed to build for Will for Steel Valley Vapors. So
nice.
That'll hopefully come through. I mean, if not, then I have 250 pairs that I can.
Yeah. You take a little bit of a step back for a couple of days.
Yeah, that can, sit around for a little while. But everything's been good, just been busy. I changed my work schedule, so I'm now like having to readjust a couple of things in life and whatnot. So it's been chaos, but it's been good. So there's that. But before we get into anything else, like what we've been vaping and whatnot recently, big shout out to John Vaping Joker, Mark Robinson, Tom Lyford, my man, my masshole brother over there, Anthony Ramella, our fantastic show sponsor. Go hit up his website, oinksquad.com. Go buy some fucking merch. Proper Coils.
You're all right, man. You're right,
John. Birdie Man, how are you?
Hey, Birdie. Happy birthday for the other week.
Yeah. Appreciate all you guys for coming out to the show. Ronnie, thank you for joining us today. We do have a pretty good episode for you guys today. And again, unfortunately, Klowne wasn't able to join us. So, he may still have a chance, but as of right now, he had some things to take care of. So we're going to be going over wire companies and any differences that we've noticed from like the different wire companies, like as we've grown as builders and like switched companies, etc. Right, from what we used to do versus what we use now, right, on a regular. And then we're also going to be going over the differences that we've noticed, for productivity and like efficiency and stuff like that of what it's like to use a lathe drill, something with like a foot pedal, right, versus using a hand drill for doing your buildings, right? So that'll be a real good episode. But before we get into all of that, what have you been vaping on, Klowne?
I got a new in. I haven't got the other door on it, but we got the old 01 single 21700 mech. He's made me a panel with my my logo on it. It looks fucking amazing. But on top of that is a stainless steel Nightmare 25 as per usual. There's a pair of Alien Lows in there inside that. Got the old Black Bess in there. I've also got the Stormtrooper X-Ohm with the OG Recoil DHD drip tip. And inside there, we have some Amatorium Raspberry Ripple.
Yeah.
I got given that last expo and I forgot I had it, and I found it in the in my box earlier on, so it's been nicely steeped.
Yeah, I wanted to take advantage of their closing sale, but I just didn't get a chance to do so. So unfortunately, I'll never get to try Amatorium, but I heard it's real good.
It is real good. And my last thing I'm vaping on is Billet Box, and inside we have the original Voodoo Chucky, with a nice little pair of MTL coils in there. And inside that is, I know nobody's going to like it, but I love it, is the old cucumber cooler by Tropic Kings. And that's me done. What are you vaping on, mate?
Honestly, I haven't really been using much of anything. I had this real hankering for trying to use my Dang, and my original Dang that I bought right when it first came out. I cracked the fucking ceramics on it, but my screw on the bottom, in order to like take the plates out and everything and replace them, was stripped, and I couldn't get it out. Right, and so I fucked it up, and I couldn't use my Dang anymore, so I put it away. And then recently, I was talking to Nick in like a couple of weeks ago in one of the hangs. Yeah, thanks, Tommy. Duchess with no T. I appreciate it. There's a joke behind it. It's because I was on a show with someone the other day, and it was like, yeah, if you want to follow me, then it's Duchess _ Coils, over on IG. There's no T in my name. That's right, because some people spell it with the T, and I don't understand why. There's no T in it. So, like, I kind of moaned about it just a little bit. That's why I put it in.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. But, yeah, so I really wanted to use my Dang. And so, like, I was talking to Nick in Hangs on a Thursday night, and he was like, well, give me just a second. And he picked up his phone, and he texted fucking Kent for me real quick. And he was like, Kent said he'll fucking ship you one right now. Just he'll send you the invoice so you can pay for it. And I was like, okay, that's fine.
Oh, nice.
So Kent had a spare fucking Ultim Dang RDA, and I paid him, and he shipped it to me. So I've been using the Dang RDA, which has been fantastic. Oh my god, I missed this on top of the clutch. So I went a little bit old school.
I was about to say, I haven't seen the clutch out in a while.
Yeah, I went back a couple of years. For my vaping, it's got a pair of 26s on the inside, and then I am testing something for someone, so I can't tell you what liquid is on the inside, but I can promise you it's fantastic, and it's an apple cinnamon pie. So that's that. And then I have a pair of interlocking aliens that I built inside the Squy RDA on top of the Scepter Mech Mod. On the inside of that, I don't know what liquid is in there.
So you got the Squy and the Scepter out again, because you were bang on that for a long time.
Yeah, I was using the fucking. Well, I was using my Nightmare, and then my Nightmare got fucked up, and there's a crack in my fucking pin, and my ohms jump. And so I took that Nightmare one day because I was really enjoying it, and I put it on a box mod. Mechanical box mod, and those ohms jumped, and I didn't realize it, and it fucking shorted out my box, dude. Like, started smoking and everything, and I was like, fuck, dude, I almost set that shit on fire. Like, it was crazy. So unfortunately, I can no longer use that box mod, and you can't get it anymore because that box mod is from like fucking 2016. So, oh well. I mean, I could probably get somebody to rebuild it for me, but
probably.
I've just been using those two. I actually don't know what liquid's in here. Let me find out. I have no fucking clue. I really don't know.
Oh, Birdie was talking about the 01 smacks the clutch. I've got to be honest.
Does it?
The 01. Every other single 21700 mech has gone in the box.
Yeah.
It blows the Denali out of the water. 100%, hands down.
Yeah, see, I hadn't used mine in a while, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna break the clutch back out. And so I put the fucking Dang on it, and I went, back a couple years, just a little old school. So like, all right, cool.
Sometimes it's some of the new stuff I'm not overly keen on. There's obviously the 0 is the only new thing that I've got, but the only RDAs I use now are the Nightmare 25 and the OG Recall.
Yeah,
I don't use anything else.
I'm thinking I might just buy another fucking Nightmare 25 because I had messaged fucking Suicide, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll get this all taken care of, and I'll send you over an invoice. You can just like buy all the pieces for it, and then you can just repair your stuff." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And then they never sent me the invoice, so I'm gonna have to probably message them again and be like, all right, well, here's what I need, and just like send them this giant ass list of fucking pieces that they need to send me.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
like
that's what
slightly after my fucking nightmare broke, the screws to my Suicide 21700
Yeah.
literally snapped in half while the like inside the mod itself. And so like the firing pin came off. And so now I can't use it.
Fucking. Do you know? I haven't used mine. I used it for literally a week, and I haven't used it since.
Yeah, my screw snapped inside my fucking.
Didn't they come with spare screws?
Yeah, but they snapped in half inside.
Oh shit! So the other half's still in there.
Yeah, so I can't take them out.
Fuck.
I have to get a whole new contact plate.
You should just send Suicide a box of the broken Nightmare.
No, I should just like send it all to him and be like, "Here, repair this for me."
Yeah.
And then just tell me what the pieces were, and I'll fucking pay you for it. It's fine.
I've got to be honest. I wasn't as impressed with the Suicide as I thought I was going to be.
I actually really liked mine, honestly, quite a bit. I used to rock the fucking my Valhalla 28 on top of it, right? Like it was a perfect fucking setup, but I can't use that now, so I don't have anything else that's gonna hold the 28.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you can go over and get yourself a 01. It will hold a 28.
When I'm not saving up money to go to Ohio in a couple of weeks.
Oh, you've got a little trip planned.
Yeah, we're going out of town to vape meet with the dudes over at Steel Valley, and a bunch of other people are like coming by and shit. Frames is going to be there. Chris Overdrip is going to be there. A bunch of other dudes and whatnot. So it'll be a good time. We're all going to hang out in Ohio for the weekend and
nice.
Have some much needed relaxation and get together time.
Right, it's the relaxation seems to just miss us definitely at the moment. I need a fucking holiday.
Yeah. So I'm going on like a real small like mini holiday for the.
Are you flying or driving?
Huh? Oh, it's only 3 hours I'm driving.
Oh, that's not too bad then.
Yeah.
Well, that's all right.
It's fine. But anyway, so now that we've waffled on enough, main topic time. Have you noticed any? Have you ever changed wire companies, or do you just always used twisted messes?
Well, before I decided to actually start like selling coils, I went for a massive thing of buying a load of wire and testing a load of different wire out. So it started my first time I started building. I just went on Amazon and bought the weird Chinese one, and it was so bad. I went to wrap it and I ran my finger down the wire, and like there was just like machine oil on all my fingers. So I stopped that. I tried a bunch of ones like Juice Junkie, Stealth Vape. I never actually heard of Kidney Punch, and I tried to get hold of is it Buddha wire, what Breezetones uses?
Yeah, Buddha wire.
I tried to get hold of that and I couldn't, so I just got like 5 or 6 of the ones I could get hold of and Twisted Messes, and I fell in love with Twisted Messes after the first time I vaped them.
Sorry, Anthony. Remember.
I buy all my wire and coils from Wish.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and I probably spent a good £100 on wire because I just bought 2636 from each company and made the same coil and just tried it out. And then once I tried Twisted Messes, I just sort of stuck with that.
Right.
And for me, I felt like it was the cleanest, nicest wire out there. And for the longevity of it as well, and the production and all that of it, that's when I fell in love with it. I've been looking recently at doing a bit more diving at like Wire Opium, Kidney Puncher, just to try out for myself. Because I haven't to the Wire Optum, yeah, and Kidney Punch, and I want to try and get some Buddha drug. Huh?
You said opium, like that shit's a drug.
Oh, did I? That's for after the show. But yeah, and some Buddha wire just because I want to try it. Because I know I haven't tried breeze tones coils or anything like that, and I know people fall in love with it. So I would like to try the wire, but not to use for production. So for production side of it, I'm only going to stick with twisted masses. It's because that's what I'm comfortable with, and I know using that, I know what I'm getting out of it, and I know what the customers will get out of it as well, and it's trusted, reliable. But for myself, I'd love to just get wire from everybody and just for a bit of a try out, see how it goes. But I know that you only use kidney puncher. Jay uses wire optum. I nearly
Wire
said
option.
opium again.
Yeah.
And yeah, Buddha wire and all stuff like that, just to see what the crack's about. Because I'm always interested when someone has chose one brand for a reason. It's the same with like cotton. Like I'm still going through this cotton debacle with like Cloud9, Fuzz, and all that. And I'm like, I can see the pros and cons of everything, but I want to know why people are so obsessed with this one. And with wire, I'm really intrigued about what people love with the wire that they pick and think that that's the best they can get. So yeah, that's where I stand at the wire at the moment.
Right. Yeah. See, I've only ever used two separate companies, but I would be willing to experiment just for the sake of experimentation with other companies itself. But when I first started building, just because it was cheap, right? I actually started out with wire opium.
Yep, that's going to be the new name now.
Yeah, I'm just going to say it like that I'm just going to say it like that on purpose, just because.
Good.
Even though I know it's wire optum. But I started out with them originally. The problem that I had was that same, and maybe I haven't used them since switching to kidney puncher after, I don't know, probably, well, I've been building for about 2 years now. And then once I finally mastered like my aliens and shit, I switched companies because I wasn't willing to fucking pay that amount of money for good wire.
Yeah.
And just blow through a bunch of it trying to learn, right? So I haven't used it in like, I don't know, year and a half or so, because I've just been a kidney puncher since then. But I had that same problem though that you had mentioned with your and there's nothing against this company, right? They still make good wire, but I would get a little bit of like machine oil here and there sometimes, right?
Yeah.
And so like I'd have these real faint like black lines like across my fucking thumb and my index finger from like doing the aliens and shit. And so yeah, Twisted Timmy actually does use wire optum for his, and I mean he's got banging ass fucking coils and they always look really good. So and people see
you need to try his Fralians V2s. He sent me a pair of them, mate.
Dude, I want to try. I'm kind of jealous of that guy, honestly. Like that dude is such a fucking great builder because like I was looking at his website the other day and I saw that he has a pair of fucking interlocking Fralians on there, and I was like, bro, I can't even make regular interlocking aliens, and you got fucking Fralians. Like the fuck? Like this is bullshit.
Mate, he's something else. His builds are incredible. If you ever get hold of his, when I tried his Fralian V2s, I turned to Mrs. Like, I'm just gonna give up. Just because literally normal aliens are here. Initial puff, it was all I was like, oh my god, I don't need anything else.
Yeah, there's just some people that are just that good though.
Yeah,
I mean, it could also be like how he cleans his coils though. That it's like obviously affecting like some of the production that you're getting out of it.
Yeah, because I always ultrasonic clean mine 3 times.
Yeah, see, I ultrasonic mine once, but they also go in the ultrasonic for like 5 minutes. So
yeah, because I think mine are 3-minute runs.
Yeah, mine's in seconds. It goes in for 480, but I think it's like 5 minutes or some shit like that.
Yeah. So I always like to clean them, and I put them on a bit of tissue, and then I lay a bit of tissue on top of them, and I just leave them to like air dry.
Yeah, I pull the basket out, and I'll go back to what I was saying for the wire stuff in a little bit, but I'll pull my basket out and I'll bring it into my office, and then I'll dump them out on like a paper towel, like on my desk, and just let them sit and dry.
Yeah, it's the best way of doing it. I don't know why I could never send out a pair of coils that haven't been ultrasonic cleaned.
Yeah, I can't do it.
It's just for me, it's weird. It's like I wouldn't want to receive a coil that someone's had their grubby fingers on.
Exactly.
But I even do it for myself.
Huh?
If I make a pair of coils for myself, I always clean them.
Really? If I make a pair of coils for myself, I don't give a shit because it was my finger oil. Right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I don't give a shit at that point. But if I'm sending coils out to people, right, or I'm like making something for a shop, then absolutely 100% those motherfuckers are getting cleaned. I also take better care of my fucking coils when I'm doing shit like that versus the ones that I'm doing for myself because I'm just like, I don't care. I'm the only one vaping them.
Yeah, I've gone from using the graveyard lot that I won't sell, and the only thing that's really wrong with them sometimes they're not wrapped tightly enough, and you know when you get that little tiny gap in between each wrap, I won't sell them. They stay for me. But recently, I'm like, fuck it. I work hard on these. I'm gonna enjoy them. So now I've started dipping. And the problem is when you dip and you've got like 6 RDAs on the table, you're like, oh, I'm going to put one in each. And then you think, should I clean them? Nah, fuck it. Let's just put a new pair in. And that's literally what I have just done before the show. So I could have cleaned them because I've only used them for like 3 or 4 days. But nah, just bin them. So I've gone down that route now, which is a slippery slope.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, I've only used those 2 wire companies though, but I mean, Kidney Puncher has been the best that I've personally used out of the 2. But again, I wouldn't be against experimenting with other wire, whether it's from Coil Cloud or Wire Buddha or anyone else, like just to see like what it's like to not only like use and like how easy or difficult it is to like manipulate the metal depending on like how they milled it out, right? Versus like what I'm used to with like using Kidney Puncher. You know what I mean? So
because there was an English company that I used.
Yeah.
And I was talking to John Propercoils about it. I think it was last week. And it is so badly made that the wires intertwine. So you could be doing a decor, then it just locks up on you. And the spools are made so badly, they actually cut the inside of your hand because they're all jagged to plastic.
Oof, fuck no.
And they use the same size spools for each thing. So you can get like 1,000 foot of 36 on we've got Aston. No, we're good, thank you. On the same one of like 2,000 of 26. So these spools are just bulging, and it was horrendous. The wire was cheap, but it was just horrendous to build with, and that was an English company.
Yeah.
And I looked at them because they done large quantity of wire. Like I can only get like 100 feet of 26 and 500 feet of 36. That's about as much as the big as I can go. But I wanted to go for like large amounts on each spool just because I go through so much wire. So that's why I was looking at that company. I'll try them out because I can get like 20,000 feet of 20 or 36. It's better than me buying multiples of 500 feet. But the wire was so bad and it was just horrible. It just wasn't worth it. So I just have to buy multiples.
Yeah.
How do we?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I do notice like a little bit of a difference though, like in vapor production. Granted, again, I haven't used them in a whole year and a half, but from what I remember, this Kidney Puncher actually performs better than what I was getting off of the wire opium. So I mean, but again, Timmy uses it, and people really like it, and apparently they get real good production and shit. So maybe they step their game up. I don't know.
But you can buy fuck off spools, can't you? Huge spools from opium.
Yeah, dude, they have fucking giant ass spools, dude. Like,
I think it just make life so much easier just buying like 20,000 feet on one spool of 36 rather than buying 10 spools. Because I don't know if you get the same, but like if I'm doing a day of decors, if I'm doing like 5 or 6 spools worth of decors, there's 5 or 6 decors that are about this fucking long. And you get halfway down, like, oh, fuck. You get left with these miniature decors that at the end, you sort of see what I've started doing is you use that, you do a decor, you put a Lego in, and then you clamp another of the decors to that, and then you just carry on. So you've got 4 decors on one wire, just because you're like, this is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. See, I always make mini decors purposely because I don't have a key track system like you do, right? So I can't move my build set to being close together. It's locked in at that 6 feet, and that's it, right? And so like because of it, I had to obviously adapt to it, and I'm not going to waste a bunch of fucking wire, especially because kidney puncher is expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
Like their 26 gauge by itself for 1,000-foot spool is $40. Like crazy amount of money, right? And so I'm not obviously going to waste it, right? So I do these real long, like 6 feet decors, right? And I get everything like all nice and set up and like I'm building, and then it only covers about 4.5 feet. You know what I mean? So I've got now like a whole 2, maybe 1.5 feet left, right, of wire that's still out on my desk that needs to be wrapped up. And so like I purposely make little itty bitty like mini decors on purpose. And then I'll just go through and I'll hook it up to the hand drill, right? Because obviously I'm not going to be able to make it all the way to the other side. So I'll hook it up to the hand drill, and then I spin the rest of it off of the hand drill itself. So half of my builds are actually done on my lathe, and the other half are still done on my hand drill. It's
I'm just
crazy setup. It works, but
mate, you have to use what you've got.
Yeah, I would love to have a G-track system though. That would make things so much easier for me.
Yeah, like my one, I need to get a new one.
Yeah, see, because I would only pull out like 4 feet, right? And then have like these giant ass decors, and then I'd be able to do the whole line and then set back up and then do the whole line again without having to like use extra wire to make these small little like mini decors just to make sure that I'm covering like the whole 6 feet.
Yeah. You love it.
Kind of fucking annoying. Wow, what up, hip hop?
Hello, mate. How's it going?
So, I mean, there's that, but I don't know. We'll see. I do feel, and then this kind of like goes into like, because there's only so much we can do about wire, right? But for drills itself, considering that I still use both of them, right, regularly, I have been using my hand drill quite a bit, and that's only because like the way that I do like my stitched aliens, right? Because I know you've seen me do quite a bit of them recently. I can only do them in short runs, like just to do like in like a pair and a half, 2 pairs, right? So do like 2 feet runs with them, right? But because of the way that I have to do it, right? Because of the method that I came up with, well, I didn't come up with it. But the way that like works for me, right? I can only do them in short runs, right? And so I obviously use my hand drill quite a bit for it. But if I'm like production building though, I do find it to obviously be way more efficient using my lathe drill. Because, you know, like I had said previous to the show, because both of us have the same setup, right? From Classic Clouds. If you guys haven't checked out Classic Clouds and you guys are looking for some building equipment, go over to classicclouds.co.uk. Fantastic stuff. But
Cloud Cartel for discount.
Yeah, Cloud Cartel for discount. I think it's 10% actually. But the tension is locked in, know what I mean? And so like I
Yeah.
never have to worry about it. So I'll just like do that. I'll go stretch the wire real quick. I'll come in here and I'll set everything back up, and well, not set everything back up, but like I'll hook up the D cord to the wire and whatever else, and then just go to town and walk down the fucking line, which is not an issue, right? And I get a lot more done doing it that way versus using my hand drill, because I fucked up earlier, and didn't realize I was out of D cores for the 30 gauges I was building earlier, and I had a whole 6 feet perfectly set up. All my prep work was done, and I had no D core. But luckily, I found a little mini one that I didn't know that had fallen on my backpack that's in there in my closet. It fell off the railing because I hang all my D cores in there. And so I found it, and so I wrapped up this fucking like 2 feet of coils, right, of this 30 gauge. And I had to snip it off and do like the other like 4.5 feet off my hand drill. And the problem doing it that way is that because I was so stretched out, right, and then still trying to like wrap my coils way over here, it made it real difficult to like hold that tension, right?
Yeah.
Because they only have so much of a wingspan, and so like it became a little bit of an issue trying to build them. So it was kind of a nice like learning experience from it though, just because like I know, I mean, and I've done it before, right? I've done long runs like that, but it was a little bit of a learning experience because like I realized how spoiled I am having a fucking lathe drill over having to use a hand drill, right? And my tension is locked in. I don't have to worry about anything except for me and the wire, right? So like, I like step on it, right? Like that's at least fine, but and then it just like obviously makes things easier for like production building, no matter what I'm doing, and so. I definitely prefer using my lathe drill to an extent, right? I really only use it for production itself, just because it does become a little bit of a pain in the ass to like stretch out this fucking 6 feet, 3-4 cores of fucking wire, whatever I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
And then have to like, walk down this whole fucking 6-foot table. Whereas like if I'm just looking for, depending on like what I'm doing, right, and I'm just like looking for like a real quick pair of fucking coils, like I could just use my hand drill and I could just spin it at full 2000 RPMs and be perfectly fine.
Yeah. See, I have a problem with stretching my my core wise, because I stretch 8 feet. And I do 8 feet of D-cord to get 6 feet of aliens, and I can't do 6 feet. So what I did, I put a nail in the end of my table, and I wrap the wire around, and I pull it off that, just because my arms aren't that long.
Right.
I've tried it. So, and if you try and do it that way, you end up going backwards. So you rather than having straight wire, you get a kink in your wire.
Yeah.
And that's really fucking annoying. So yeah, that's why I end up just putting a nail in the end of the table just to be able to stretch wire. At least I know if I put it in there and I pull it to my table. I know you've done the same as me. I've got marks all over my tables. If you look at it, it looks like I've just done random marks. But for me, I know that mark to that mark is that much for say like 30 aliens. This much is for staggered. I know to stop staggering at this point, and it will go back to this point. So that's how I do all mine.
Yeah,
my only problem with the lathe drill is I use my lathe for all my aliens, all my staggered, fuse claptons, obviously, and decors. But when it comes to playing about, so say like I want to play with some interlocking aliens, or I want to play and try and make some Fralians, trying to do that on a lathe, even trying to learn it, is just fucking impractical as well. So that's why I've built a separate thing for playing with my hand drill. So I literally it's literally a plank of wood with the swivel with bearings screwed onto it and a hook, and it's hooked to the end of the table, and I just have the drill there. But it's like this level, and it's just I just got a cheap £20 drill off Amazon, so it's really fucking slow. I don't even think it's like 1,000 RPM.
Right.
It's proper slow. But for me, that's how I like to play and learn, and then use the lathe for like aliens, because you're the same as me, aliens and staggers and that. You can just do the long lines because you're used to doing it.
Yeah.
But anything learning or anything a bit intricate, ribbon wire, you can't do 6 feet of even like frame staples on a lathe drill because it's all going to twist up on you. So that's how I'm doing things. But I had to buy a hand drill because I couldn't play with a lathe.
Yeah.
It's impossible to play around on a lathe.
Yeah, sorry. Entertain the crowd for me for just a second. I gotta step away.
And then there was one. So yeah, playing with coils, because obviously I know Duchess and Jay are the same. When you start building, you like to piss about, try something new, or you want to try a new build and you want to try it a bit differently. I find it really hard to do that on a lathe. So using a hand drill, you can go a lot slower on. You can play about with the tension and stuff like that. For me personally, that's how I like to piss about and actually get things down. That's how I learned to do staggers, and then I moved it from the hand drill onto the lathe once I understood it and got good at it. So now I do 7 feet stagger fuse Claptons just because from many years of trying to master it, and once you get it down, it's easier to then to put it onto a lathe than it is to try and initially learn to do it on a lathe. So yeah, I don't know where everyone's going.
Using a lathe is a little bit of a learning curve, especially like. So I don't know. It's real weird, right? Because like I'm right-handed, and I primarily do everything with just the right side of my body, right? However, when I'm building, right, and I'm on my lathe, I actually control the foot pedal with my left side. Weird,
so you both.
Feel like I have more control doing it that way than the way I originally was doing it with my right foot.
See, when I was in the garage, because where my floor was all bouncing, I couldn't slide my seat along. I I put elastic band around the trainer on the pedal and have it on my right foot, so then I can move along. Now I'm in the house, I do it barefooted. I keep the pedal in the middle of the table, start with the right foot, move along, and then switch to my left foot to go down the other end. But somehow I only use my big toe. I don't use my whole foot.
Yeah, see, well, there's two things with it. One, I only use my left foot when I'm using my lathe. And then two, I actually can't do it with shoes on because it's weird because I have this thing about not being able to feel the pedal, and I build barefoot.
Yeah, I do now. It's lovely. I feel like I've got more control.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
I feel like I
use
have
my
more
big
control
toe.
with it.
It's nice though to be able to build inside and actually get a good feeling with stuff, because barefooted, you're comfortable. Like
Right.
where you're in your office doing it. When I was in the garage,
I just threw in a shirt and some basketball shorts barefoot, and I just build. That's it.
I was building the other day in my boxers. Just got out of bed, waiting for the kettle to boil, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm going to do some decors." Sat there in my pants. Just
see, you can do that though, because it's just you and your wife. You know what I mean? Like I can't do that because it's me and then my homies here, and my door is always open. Yeah, my door is always open. I'm not just gonna stand around in my fucking pants.
It's so nice just to be warm.
Yeah,
building it makes a hell of a difference. I went through a feeling, and this is probably just me reading too much into it, but I feel that the wire performed better me being in the house than the wire being out in, not exactly in the elements, but there's no heater in there. Boxer coils and barefoot coils.
Yeah, dude.
But the wire being in a a constant same temperature. Like what we're at the moment, 19.8. So it's in between 19 degrees and 20 degrees in the house at all times. Where in the garage, it went from like -7 up to like 8 or 9, 10 at the max.
I mean,
I found the wire
it
being
might,
in the house.
it
I
might
felt
have
that it's,
something with it because I mean, you remember that pair of coils that I sent you like originally when we were starting this, right? And we obviously needed to all try each other's stuff.
oh yeah.
There was that pair of 26s that I built for you. They were perfectly fine. No one's ever had a problem, but it went from really hot fucking 127, well, 53 Celsius, right? Arizona to I think Chicago, and it was winter time when I sent them, I think.
Yeah.
Where it was like colder, right? And then I don't, but I would gladly accept some if you're making them. 100 fucking percent. Just make sure that when the design is on there, that Sloane's mouth is exactly where your dick should be.
Oh god, that would be brilliant though.
That would be fucking hilarious. But I mean, it went from Arizona where it was really hot to Chicago, where well, to LA, right? And then it went to Chicago, I think, where it was like kind of where it was colder, and then back to LA where it got warm again, right? And then eventually like made it to the UK where it's obviously colder than where they were from, and then like obviously that wire like snapped on you, and I don't know if it's part of like the temperature and then things shaking around and like getting banged up or what happened with that pair of coils, but it's just weird that that lead popped.
Yeah, it was the center core wire, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was that middle one, and you fucking were like, "Why did you send me a pair that's 001?" I was like, "I didn't send you like that, bro. Promise."
But yeah, no, I don't know what it is, but I feel like building is so much easier. It's not as I don't have to put as much tension on shit. So I don't know if the cold air tenses the wire compound up. I'm not a scientist, so I wouldn't know.
I mean, it may. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I've never had to like build outside. I've always built in the house. I mean, it's colder here. And honestly, I actually build with my window open, even if it's snowing outside, just because I want it to stay cold in this fucking room while I'm building.
Yeah. Oh, I'm next to a heater.
Yeah, especially because I've always got like lights on and shit like that and everything else. And like it kind of like heats up the room on top of like running this fucking motor.
Yeah.
Else that I'm doing itself, right? And so I want it to stay nice and cold in this room. But I mean, the temperature might have something to do with it. I'm not a scientist either. You know, the best person to ask for that, Breestones. I'm pretty sure he has a dissertation on it.
Well, we'll have to ask him next time I speak to him. Because that would be interesting. Because I don't know whether it was just me just thinking it is because I'm more comfortable in the house building, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to ask him. We'll have to get him on and ask him. Get a dissertation from him.
Yeah. I'll have to see if he's got a time that he would prefer. We can work around it. But
I got a little bit of news.
Yeah.
I can now multitask. I can now build with music.
Bro, I'm proud of you. You're moving up in the world.
It's so nice now. Just sticking shuffle on and actually being able to listen to music and build and concentrate. Well, I've had to learn because I've been building with kids shows in the background.
Yeah.
If the little one's up. So I've sort of forced myself to learn to do it. So over morning it's quite nice. Put a bit of music on, build, and it's nice. So it's a bit of a move forward in my world. I don't have to build in absolute fucking silence anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I always build with fucking music on, always. Like, I can't build in silence. It did take me a little bit of time though to learn how to build while other people were talking though, because like I would need to be getting work done, but would also want to hang out simultaneously with like dudes in like Discord or whatever else, right?
Yeah.
So I obviously would keep myself muted, right, because of the drill sounds. But it took me a little bit to like learn how to do it, to like focus on the wire itself and like keep building while
Yeah.
simultaneously like listening to the conversation as well.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But I've always just built with music on. Like everything I do in life, I have music on. Even while I'm at work, honestly, in between calls and anything else that like I'm doing at work and stuff, music's playing every single fucking
Yeah.
time.
See, we have music playing all the time in the house, but when I'm building, I couldn't do it. Well, now I can just leave it on, and it's great.
Yeah,
It's
I
because
can't.
you see people like Jay. He builds like whilst watching TV shows and shit. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I can't do that. I don't know how the fuck he does that. I'm not listening to fucking polka, dude. I listen to death metal, bro. Death metal. I'll melt your face off.
But
If anyone has any questions, like before we continue, and I should have said this way sooner. If anyone has any questions as far as like drills, anything for like wire, if you're trying to make something and you don't know where to start, feel free to just drop a question in chat. We'll be more than happy to answer it. Unless it comes from Bob's own too low, then you can suck. Then you can suck a dick, bro. Fuck off.
But the one thing I have upgraded is what I use to build in that, what I use for wrapping coils. Because I used to use, well, I've only ever used the Coil Master step downs. As like the 3.53s, 2.5s. I can't use any of the other machines. I've got them all, but I've just upgraded because I go through one a month to drill bits. So I'm just using drill bits now, and they haven't bent yet, which is great. So literally, drill bit with some old medical tape around it, and that's
I don't
all
know how
I
you do that. Like honestly,
Huh?
I don't know how you do that.
It's the only I can't use the drill bit, the ones that you attach to the drill, or even the coily thing, the handheld one. I can't do it.
I've never fucked one of these up ever. I've had this thing for like 3 fucking years, and I still use the same ones.
Yeah, mine's bent like this.
I don't know how you fucked it up.
Yeah, that's all I just the rod I use. Don't use any of the other bits, and somehow managed to bend them. So I've gone for proper drill bits that are apparently industrial strength. So, and I've been using them for a while. It's got my little 2.5 one here. And the great thing about little 2.5. And the great thing about that is I've gone all the way up to like 6 mil. Because I had someone ask me to build a fuck off coil for a Sith. He was like, can you do 6 mil? I was like, not a problem. Just got on Amazon, £2.50, and I've got fuck tons of medical tape. Yeah. And now it's great for wrapping. I have had no issues with them. But those freaking coily things you attach to the drill, I just can't use them. It just gets all gappy on me.
Really?
Yeah.
I have one. I have one on my drill right now, actually.
Yeah, I can't use them.
And I love it. Honestly, this is how I wrap all my coils now. I just got like a little clip.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just can't. I can't wrap with them. So I go the old way. But I'm trying to rope in some extra help.
That you're way too hard on things, and you make things more difficult on yourself than you actually should.
True, but I have been teaching the missus to hand wrap coils.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, you done good, didn't you?
So you're running a slave labor camp now. All right, that's cool.
Pretty much. And the first one was, I will say, it was horrendous. By the fifth one, so that was our first attempt, which was it was a bit all over the shop.
Yeah.
But then I just got old bits of wire. But by the last one, fucking smashed it.
Yeah, not bad.
So I may rope her in to wrapping coils, so she can give me a hand.
Oh, okay. That's
I'm gonna try and get Cairo to do decoring for me.
He's gonna run a family business here.
Mate, I need all the help I can because I hate decor days.
Yeah, trust me, it's dumb.
Decor days are the worst. But the only good thing that's come out of it is the empty spools Cairo loves, so he plays with them. So, like, his playpen is full of empty spools that he just throws about.
Yeah.
So I don't have to buy many more toys anymore.
Right. That's probably what it is, Anthony. Honestly, I'm highly inclined to believe you.
He's British and they can't even drive on the correct side of the road. He needs a left-handed coil rod. Dick. But probably true. Oh. But yeah, that's the only other new thing. And
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else does this, but after we talk about this, I picked it up on the side. Do you use the glue rods?
Only if I'm making freight aliens.
What I found make my life easier is, you know, when you get down to a certain length and you're a bit like, oh shit, that's getting a bit close to my finger, I've shoved it on an old drill bit. Mate, it's amazing.
What are you talking about?
You know, you get the bit of the glue stick.
Yeah.
I shove it on a drill. So it's just shoved in the end of the drill. So heat up the end of not a drill, what's it called? Old screwdriver, the old glasses one. Heat up the end, shove it on the end. Now your fingers ain't close enough, so you can't burn your fingers.
That's why you get a roach clip, bro.
Yeah, I don't have one of those.
I mean,
it's been many years since I've fucking done any of that stuff. And even then, I wouldn't have used a bloody roach clip.
I mean,
but the problem is, I do use a culinary torch.
Yeah.
Which I have melted the end of my fingers quite a few times.
Yeah. See, Red, what's up, bud? Thanks for being here, man.
Hello, mate.
Yeah, I only use the glue sticks when I'm building for aliens, but even then, I don't know. My mom gave me her hot glue gun, so I honestly just use the hot glue gun.
I was too tight-fisted to get the gun, so I just bought the pack of the sticks that went with it for £1.
Yeah, I mean, I have a bunch of sticks, but my mom had like 7 fucking hot glue guns, and she was like, "Here you go, you can have this." And I was like, "Thanks, now I can build for aliens."
See, I use glue all the time, only because on the lathe, you know, it's got the it's the flat chuck. Yeah. See, what I do to hold them in a bit better, I just put a little bit of glue on the end, so it butts up against the back of that bit.
You know what I do, Brian? I have I'll show it to you. Fuck, where is it at? Shit. I don't know where it is right now. Oh, there it is. I found it. All right. I guess I had to stare at my tits for a little bit. So I have an old fucking swivel, right? That doesn't work anymore. And I fucking put hot glue on it because it would still spin just a little bit. And so what I started doing, right? Because this fucking flat chuck sucks dick. Unless you're doing fucking decors with it. If you're doing single core, then it's fine, right? If you're doing multi-core though, no, it doesn't work very well. But what I started doing is I started putting it in the flat chuck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I would put it in the drill, and then I'll string the wire across the desk and I'll put it through the loop and then tie it off, right? So that way both sides are still spinning the way that they're supposed to.
Okay, because what I did with my one, I shaved the inside of the back, so it's the back of it's like this. So I just pinch it and it opens. I haven't had an issue with mine.
Yeah, I started doing it that way, and once I started doing it that way, everything got easier for me.
It's a bit of a ball ache to keep.
Yeah.
But like with decors and that, for the longest time, I don't know why I was doing it. I was cutting it off at the chuck end. And then one day I was like, hang on, because I'm wasting like this much wire each time. Like, fuck it, I cut it off on the swivel end. So for like a year, I was cutting it off the wrong end.
Yeah, so like on the swivel, right? Because I luckily still have some wire hooked up. what I do with it, right? Because it's kind of the same thing on both sides, right? And so, like, obviously, you got your wire twisted around. Sorry, my nails are fucking terrible because I have a chronic issue with biting them. But I just clip off that little loop that's created when you wrap the wire around itself, right? I just clip it off there. And then that way I'm not wasting anything. And I just kind of like gently clip off that little itty bitty bit that's like kind of fucked up right here because of the twist.
Yeah.
And then I'm good to go. And then I just put it in that fucking I put it in that
It took me a year.
Yeah, I put it in that little drill thing, right? And then I just wrap my fucking coils and I'm good to go.
It took me a year to think, fuck, I'm going to start clipping. So why am I not clipping off the other end? So, yeah. So I wasted so much wire for the first year.
Yeah.
But the magnet, a disclaimer for everybody, the magnetic swivels are not worth it. They are horrendous. Especially if you're doing anything smaller than a 27 gauge. Because where you've got the tension...
For what? What are you talking about?
You know the magnetic swivels?
Oh, yeah.
Not worth it. A great idea.
Like, I've thought about doing it, and I know that there's that German company that makes one like that magnetic swivel.
That's where I got mine from.
Yeah, and so, like, my problem with it, right, is that sometimes I end up putting too much tension on things without realizing it, right? Yeah. And if it's only magnetic, then that shit's going to fucking separate as soon as I have the wrong amount of tension. And then I just fucked everything up. Like, imagine, like, putting too much tension on it and you're in the middle of a fucking, like, in the middle of a build and you're, like, using a hand drill and not realizing things. And you pull too hard back on it and you fucking separate that in the middle of a spin. Like, dude, I would be so mad.
And like, plus, what it also does is anything smaller than a 26, it stretches the wire. So I was decoring on a 30 and I got halfway down the decor and then the magnets went boop, together. Fucking stretched the wire. So they were like, oh, you can take more of the magnets off. So I got the new magnets. So I took more of them off. And then the magnets, so if that's the back end of the magnet, that's the other one, it just does this. Just starts fucking shaking about on you. And it's not steady at all. So, yeah, don't buy it. It's not worth it. I think they're only 25 quid, but they're really not worth it. So what we're going to do quickly, because we are an hour in, is we're going to take a quick 20-second break to hear from our sponsor.
And that was our sponsor, Oink Squad. Sorry, both of us were like, I were just trying to turn that little break. Our sponsor, Oink Squad, our main man, Anthony Ramella. If you're not supporting Anthony Ramella, then you should definitely go show that man some support, because he shows all of us in the vape community some support and does a lot of things out of the kindness of his heart, honestly. Like, I wouldn't have, like, the 2 pairs of fucking magnifying glasses if it wasn't for him, because I thought about buying them and I just never fucking pulled the trigger. And then they showed up at my house and I was like, dude, Anthony Armella, yo, you're a fucking G, dude. So yeah, go show that dude some love. He's got merch on his website, winksquad.com, for mixing it up, for the Shed Time crew over on the Green Room, and for the Shed Time podcast. Eventually we will end up talking to him about stuff for Codename Wired. And whatnot. You can always pick up Sloan's amazing, beautiful face on a fucking coffee mug if you're really down for that.
Well, you can get the wank blanket.
Huh? Yeah, it's right there.
You get the wank blanket. I know Thick Nick was looking at getting one.
Yeah, dude. That's because I told Anthony no. I wanted to be the only one with a blanket so I could cuddle up with my Sloan every night. But yeah, so go show that dude some support. You can follow him over on IG. That's oinksquad.com, all spelled out. DOT, actually spelled out, right? Don't put the period in there. You can also follow his personal Instagram. I'm _Anthony Ramella. And if you want to show him a little bit of extra love outside of the website, then you can always go watch his show at 11 p.m. Well, daylight savings started today, so I don't know if it's changed at all, but I think it's at 11 p.m. Eastern still, over on the Friday Fallout YouTube channel every Friday. Well, I think they do 3 times a month and then a week off, if I remember correctly, for their schedule. So if you want to go watch their show, absolutely hilarious time. Anthony always has some of the best games, and they always have some of the raunchiest fucking content you can ever find on YouTube. So definitely go watch the Friday Fallout on their channel, and they'll. He said, "I'm gonna call it the wind blanket, bro." Dude, that's hilarious. That's fucking funny. But yeah, so you guys can go show him some support, and we'll get some, and then you get some real cool fucking merch out of it and shit, which is dope as fuck. So you get something, he gets something, it's a win-win for everybody.
Exactly. So what's next, Duchess? What's next in the world of Duchess Coils? Is there anything that we're moving forward on the website?
So words for the website. I actually just talked to Hip Hop about this yesterday. As of right now, I was going to try to do it this month, but then I found out that that I'm going to Ohio, and so I've allocated a bunch of my money to go to Ohio just to hang out. So when I come back, I'll finish getting all the licensing stuff taken care of and paid for and whatnot with the state of New York. And then that way, hopefully, I'm hoping by because I think if I read the website correctly, it's like a 6-week time frame for them to make a decision on things for the licenses. So once I do have that license, right, then I can start getting everything else taken care of, like business bank account and a bunch of other things that need to happen and whatnot, right? So
yeah,
that way we can get all of that taken care of. But so I'm still working on that, and then eventually Coils will be available from myself personally that I will ship out. So just working on that currently. Outside of that, I don't know just yet. I have talked to Will here and there about things, but nothing set in stone just yet. So they may possibly be available relatively soon over at Still Valley Vapor. I just finished the last of the 250 pairs that I need to build for him. Originally it was going to be 300, but then I'm a perfectionist and I fucked up the labels. And I know that they're fucked up for the 29s because when I was making the label, I duplicated the label for the 30 gauges and then forgot to change some of the text on it. So instead of it saying a Boro on it, it actually says RDL Alien on it, which is not the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Me being me and knowing that fact, I decided to scrap that of that 50 pairs itself until I actually get the labels in for that, and then eventually I'll build those 50 pairs, and then we can take care of things then. So but hopefully soon. I'm going to talk to Will in Ohio, and yes, the 6-wrap 28s are the Hexone coils. They're a 3 millimeter. They're a 2836, and they come out to roughly about a 0.19 to 0.21 for those. So I do have 50 pairs of those already made. Those are all taken care of and everything else. So I've already got the 26s, 27s, all the 28s, right? That's 200 pairs right there. And then I finished up the 30s today, 50 pairs of each. So hopefully soon I'll find out from Will. Maybe I'll find out in April. And if things fall into place where they should be, then I will definitely make a post on Instagram, and or I will hit up Anthony Ramella to create a fucking still frame for me, like a little announcement board to post on Instagram itself to let people know things are available over at Still Valley Vapors when that does actually like come to fruition. So we're getting all that taken care of. Things are going real slow, but I'm also working while I'm taking care of all of that, right? Sloan's not the only one that's super busy because I also know that he has a secret project, but I also have a secret project that I'm working on that I can't reveal out just yet. But I did talk to Sean Typhon yesterday, aka, well, previously known as the Angry Hippie. He's no longer the Angry Hippie. I talked to him yesterday about getting some photos done. So there will be professional photos for that secret project as well. Just waiting on some labels for things and to finish a couple like tweaks on some stuff for that, and then that'll all come out and people will know about it and it'll be readily available. Outside of that, not much else that we can do or that I'm doing. Oh, Anthony Ramella is also going to be at the Ohio meetup. So yes, Anthony, we will definitely have a conversation at the meetup itself for both the Codename Wired stuff, anything for the future for that, and then any sort of like promotional type things that need to get taken care of. So
awesome.
Any outside of Expo, anything else you got going on?
Lots of bits, secret projects going left, right, and center. I'm doing something with the missus, which I can't talk about just yet. We're slowly working on that, so it's taken up more of my time. Bit of the expo. There's going to be a minimum of 17 different variations of coils going to be released. So there's rather a lot of coils being made at the moment. There's going to be some special coils only available at Expo. So that's going to be good fun. What else is there going? Just literally it, just working, trying to stay alive, trying to get a bit of sleep. So apart from that, we got Ramadan coming up. So there's going to be.
When does that start?
Ramadan. When does Ramadan start? 22nd. So it's I'm going to be fasting. So I won't, for my shows anyway, they're stopping. I think Codename Wired's going to stop for it. I don't know whether you guys are going to do your own little bits and pieces with it, which I'm happy to do. So if you guys want to crack on with it, you can. No. So Codename Wired's taking a break as well. There may be, I'm not sure yet. I may try and film some little bits before it to put out during Ramadan, but that's probably highly unlikely. There is going to be massive sales during Ramadan as well on my website, so keep your eye on the Instagrams and that for any sneaky discount codes I drop in. But apart from that, nothing really. Trying to work out this thermal print. I got a new thermal printer.
Nice.
For shipping labels and that, rather than having to stand in line at the post office every 2 days.
Yeah, honestly, I thought about getting one just for business uses, and then once I get everything for business, then write that bitch off as a tax write-off.
Like, it's saved my life because the amount of abuse I got from little old ladies on a Saturday, and I've got like 2 shopping bags full of orders. And you're like, yeah, I need to ship all these off, please. And you're in there an hour. So this is obviously you don't have to pay for ink because it's thermal, and the labels are so cheap. So
Right.
it does make life a hell of a lot easier. And then you can just pay for it all up front, and it's just not having to keep using your business card.
I use stamps.com for mine. As of right now, I still pay for all of my stuff ahead of time, but I definitely want to get a thermal printer. But I've just been printing my labels out, and then I just tape it onto the fucking package itself.
Yeah. Well, this thing, how much was this?
So much tape on it, though, that it looks like there's supposed to be like a plastic film over the top, like on purpose.
Yeah, I think
So
mine was just a little bit under 50 quid. It's just some Japanese make, Label Light, I think it's called,
yeah,
and it's tiny. But it's freaking brilliant. So yeah, that's the only thing really new on my side that I've got. Got the new Zero, but apart from that, just trying to work on backstocking. I want to do a lot more playing because I feel like I haven't had time to just play with what I like. Seeing you doing your interlockings and your stitched, and Jay doing his stitched, and that. I'm like, oh, I just want to sit and be able to play with like new builds and that. But
yeah.
I'm gonna have to make sure I set time aside to actually be able to.
You're gonna need to, bro. Because honestly, I feel like because I know I go through this, and I'm sure there's plenty of other builders out there that haven't said anything that may be lurking on the show currently. That at a certain point you kind of start to become a little bit burnt out, and so like you need to take that day or that two to just like, even if you're still building on that day, right, to still take
Yeah.
that, just like have some fun for yourself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've had so much enjoyment like mastering, like because I can now probably a few minutes slower, right, because of obviously needing to stitch, right, but I could pretty much put a pair of fucking stitched aliens together just as fast as I do a normal pair of aliens.
Oh wow, I haven't even had time to sit and do it. So that's what I'm gonna have to start doing now is setting some time aside.
Yeah.
So even if it's middle of building, just say fuck it for an hour and do something else. So that's my plan going forward, to spend a bit of time playing around with wire or with myself. I know Anthony's probably going to make a joke now I've said that. Make some time playing with myself. And,
I mean,
yeah, that's the only thing that
you're
I really.
constantly whacking it, you know?
Yeah, I need a wank blanket. So
Well, everybody needs a wing blanket. Go to fucking oinksquad.com. Go buy one.
yeah.
Honestly, they're super fucking comfortable, bro. They're fleece and they're fucking so silky, smooth, and comfortable, and it's amazing.
That's a good advert.
They actually are really warm though, like to be fair.
Cool. Right. Do you want to do playlist song?
Music time. Anyone who has any suggestions for music for those that are actually still around, out of the 16 people that are currently watching, if you have any music suggestions, anything you guys want to add to the playlist, then we will definitely add it. And since Jay isn't here, then we actually have room to add extras.
So run the bumper.
We've got room for 4 extra songs. So hurry up and smash those fucking suggestions in the chat.
Cool.
And Anthony, I will definitely check my IG messages right after the show.
Right, let me get Spotify open. Move fucking all this vape shit out of the way.
I gotta figure out what I've been listening to recently. I
was just literally picking up what I listened to earlier on. What was I listening to? Right, let's jump into this. What else? What's up? Right. My first one I'm going to put in is Interstate Love Song by Stone Temple Pilots.
Mm-hmm.
Add to. I'm going to ask the missus. Is there a song you want to add to the playlist? No? And the next one is going to be. Let's scroll down a little bit more. Oh, what the fuck is that? It's going to be Nothing But Trouble by the Lazies. That would do.
Oh, that's literally been my shit, bro.
Oh, it's already been added. Don't add.
This shit works it worked like it's really all of this bullshit is fault.
We're gonna add 10,000 Watts by Altered 5 Blues Band. Add to playlist. Have you got any songs, Duchess?
Yeah, so I'm gonna do 60 centimeters of steel by Alpha Wolf.
60 centimeter. Oh, I can't even spell.
No,
Centimeters.
it's just 60 and then cm. You don't have to spell centimeter out.
Oh, here we go. I got it.
Yeah, by Alpha Wolf and
Holding absence.
yeah,
Got, got it.
Then we're gonna add New Order from the Gloom in the Corner.
Cool. We're on.
And then I'm gonna go with. So we have room for 4 songs since Jay isn't here. So we're gonna go with. I'll pick 2 and then you can pick 2. I'm gonna go with Sandstorm Darude that Anthony put in there. Dude, that's such an old school EDM song too. Like, dude, I haven't heard that song in forever, but it's iconic. So I'm gonna do that one, and then I'm gonna go with, of course, my main man Tom Lyford, because we both listen to heavy metal. "State of Unrest" by Creator and Lamb of God.
Creator and Lamb of God. Got it. Add to playlist. So what have we got? I'll just pick Steve-O's ones. Pixies. Where in My Mind. Right, got that. What else we got? I Want to See You Build to Sandstorm. As there's no more in there, I'm going to give it a couple of seconds. If not, I'm going to pick one, a random one.
Ooh, yo, listen, if either of us can build a real fucking like hyper rowdy fucking coil, we're definitely naming it the Sandstorm. 100%. I mean, you're not allowed to because you already have the Donkey Punch.
Yeah, that is true. Badly named.
Badly named.
What am I going to put on? As no one else has put it in.
Yeah, so just pick another song, whatever you want.
I'm going to put in "Outer Space" by The Prodigy.
Okay.
Let me add this playlist to the chat.
I mean, Anthony did put "Scotty Doesn't Know" in the chat.
Fuck it, we'll put that on there as well. That's on there as well. Let me get this playlist.
Coil. What the fuck is that, Anthony?
Share.
That's hilarious.
Is it? Yeah. Oh, there you go. The playlist link is in chat. If you want to go give the playlist a listen to. Yeah, if you join it, I know you can add stuff to it as well. So if you join the playlist and follow it, you can add your own songs to that as well.
Yeah.
Should be nice.
It's a slew of genres on that playlist. So some things may not fit your style, but I'm sure that there's something on there that you're willing to listen to. So
there's something for everyone on there.
Yeah, there's definitely something for everyone. 100%. Like, that is the most eclectic fucking playlist I've ever seen.
So I'm gonna throw some Kenny G on there next time.
Listen, here's the thing. I will set a fucking desk up in my room and I will fucking clamp down a swivel mount just to build coils on the fucking toilet if you want me to, Anthony. 100% I'll make you a fucking Blumpkin coil, bro.
You have to film it as well. You can...
While I'm just spitting my brains out. With a,
You wouldn't
while
want to
I've
vape
got the,
them
while
afterwards.
I've got the fucking bidet water on and shit like that, so that way I don't have to
Ooh.
vape. It'll just fucking clean my asshole while I continue building.
Then you can use that to clean your coils off with.
That's so gross, dude. That's fucking disgusting. Holy shit.
Oh dear. Right.
That's fucking hilarious. You might need to jump in the ultrasonic for those. Oh, Jesus, fuck. That's funny as fuck. Anyway, so we appreciate all of you guys coming out. That is the show for this episode. We will be back 2 weeks. Well, when does Ramadan start again? I'm so sorry.
In 2 weeks, isn't it, Ramadan? So yeah, we may make it one more. I can't remember because of the dates.
When does Ramadan start?
22nd. So no, this will be the last show. This is the last one till Ramadan, till the end of Ramadan.
Let me find out that I fucking asked it, and it took me to a fucking UK website for when does Ramadan start. Okay. You see that?
Yeah. IslamicRelief.org.uk.
It says
21st or 22nd.
yeah, the 23rd, Thursday, the 23rd of March.
So this is the last show till the end.
Yeah. So, yeah. So we're gonna be taking a little bit of hiatus because Ramadan is what, a month long.
Yep.
So we'll be back in about 6 weeks, so about a month and a half, just so that way, obviously, Klowne can do his thing and not be super grumpy on the fucking show, considering that he's got to do Ramadan and he has to fast, and he's gonna be hyper grumpy when we fucking eat giant ass fucking Subway sandwiches in front of him.
Yep.
You know,
And cry.
and pork belly and all kinds of other shit that he can't have. Anyway, yeah, so we'll be back right after Ramadan stops. So we'll make sure that you guys know about it and whatnot. But so that should probably be end of April. We'll be back. So that's all taken care of. But sorry, one of my beard hairs fell out and it got in my mouth. It's gross.
Molten.
Yeah, molten, bro. Anyway, yeah, so we'll be back for that. Otherwise, huge thank you to everyone in chat who came out for we appreciate all of you guys for being here. We literally can't do any of this without you guys, and we can't do anything without Anthony as well. So big shout out to Anthony, big shout out to everyone, the last one of you guys in the chat. We appreciate all the love and support throughout the last year and a half that we've been doing this. So we'll try to come up with something real good for you guys for the next episode when we're back, and we'll see you guys then. Outside of that, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hopefully, and I'm going to take this out of Logan's book. Hopefully your Monday is not too Monday. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you guys then. Peace.
See you later.
Please know and apply your knowledge on Ohm's law when venturing into rebuilding or producing your own coils.